Hi Capricorn, welcome to your weekly check-in for the 12th to the 18th of November. If you'd like to book a personal reading, please see the description box below the video for information on how to do that. You're welcome to like, share or comment on the video, and you are welcome to subscribe to the channel as well. And I just need to start pointing out, because I never remember to say it, this reading is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon or Rising. So if you're not familiar with those different things, then there are lots of sites online that will tell you about how to do your birth chart, and it will give you information on your moon sign and rising sign as well. And I am considering starting to put a link in the description box for the site that I use to get my birth chart. So yeah, so let's go on with your reading. These are the oracle decks I'm going to be using for today's reading. We're going to start off with the Power of Surrender card, and that will be like your main theme for your weekly check-in. So what does Capricorn need to know for the 12th to the 18th of November as their main theme, please? So what does Capricorn need to know for the 12th to the 18th? Oh, surrender the habit of people pleasing. Okay. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. Okay. I sound surprised because it's just that I don't really think of Capricorns to be people pleasers. I mean, any Capricorns out there that want to share your experience of that, feel free to do that in the comment section. But yeah, I'm not saying Capricorns aren't people that are very helpful and supportive, because I believe they are, but just like people pleasing, I mean, I'm a Libra and we are often known for people pleasing, along with, I'd say, probably Cancerians, maybe Pisceans as well. But yeah, like Capricorn, you wouldn't really think of it. You sort of think like, yeah, Capricorn's going to support you and push you and encourage you. But okay, we're all human, aren't we? And you've got surrender to your soul's path at the bottom of the deck. I don't know if you can see that as well. So let's get your theme from the tarot deck as well. So what else does Capricorn need to know about their theme from the tarot deck as well? I think one of the reasons I don't see Capricorns as people pleasers are because I just my perspective, and also what I've read in astrology as well, is that Capricorns are like the father figure, aren't they? They're like a father, authoritarian sort of figure. So that's why you wouldn't really think of people pleasing, but obviously, yeah, life, that's all I can say. So what else do we need to know about Capricorn's main theme? Right, so we have justice and we have the world. So I just love when the colors match. So justice is about fair. It can be about fairness, balance, equality, fair outcomes in particular. And then the world is about going into new cycles, isn't it? And I've literally only just noticed the different elements they've got here. I know that they have these types of things on other tarot cards, but this is I've had this deck for years, and this is the first time I've ever noticed, like, I mean, what is that? Vampire fangs. I've never noticed that, or any of these bits on the outside, but the vampire, I'm assuming that is like some kind of vampire fangs in particular that's really standing out to me here. I don't know why. Let's look at your energy specifically. So how you're dealing with things. How is Capricorn dealing with this? Right, so for me, the Nine of Wands is often a card of still standing. This one is more a card of anticipation. And it's got a Seven of Pentacles energy to it, actually. You know, that whole is it worth it kind of thing. Oh God, that's a running theme, isn't it? I've just realised in your videos, Capricorn, that's come up quite a lot, the whole is it worth it thing. Right, let's continue. Any external or surrounding energies that are relevant to this situation, please. So I'm going to try that again. So with this, the habit of people pleasing, I mean, it doesn't mean that you're a people pleaser in your whole life. It could just be in one particular situation, couldn't it? As with anything, it's not the entirety of who you are. It could just be one particular thing where you could be people pleasing. So I've got the Four of Swords there, and I'm laughing at this because in the Aquarius reading that I did yesterday, I believe I did that, the Four of Swords came up as it felt like a do not disturb sign, like the person, you might want to watch that video actually, because Aquarius is next to Capricorn, isn't it? So you get Capricorn, then Aquarius, and if you are a cusper, so without checking the book, I can't remember what the dates are. I think if you were born on something like the 20th of what would it be? January? You know, I'm getting my dates mixed up. But if you look up what a cusper is, if you were born on the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius, so you're like an in-betweener, that might be relevant because theirs came up as do not disturb, where they were giving their energy elsewhere too much, whether it was to people or situations, and they were kind of needing to recalibrate or refine where and how they give their energy so that they have energy for themselves, whether it's to replenish themselves or whether it's so that they can focus on other things. But they got it in the same position as well, and as the external energy, where it's like a do not disturb sign. And for me, the external energy, it can be another person, or it can be where it shows the impact of what external influences have on you and how you react to that, if that makes sense. So let's look at any guidance for you. So we've lost a card, and since it fell so dramatically, I will take the one that fell as well. We've got the Page of Cups, and just bear with me one moment. You also have the Nine of Pentacles, okay. And this is, it's a little bit of a similar energy, again with the Aquarius reading, where it was like, you know, like if you always have people bringing their problems to you, or you have someone that brings the same problem to you, and it's like it almost feels like they want you to fix their problems, but they never sort of take responsibility for it themselves. And it's sort of needing to get into an energy where it's like, well, I can't help you anymore. You got to kind of just fix it yourself, sort your own problems out. You've asked me for advice multiple times. You haven't taken it, which is fine. Nobody's obligated to take our advice, but you can't keep bringing the same problem to me as if I'm going to save you and never doing anything yourself. It's that kind of energy. Because the Page of Pentacles is a child, obviously. And then the Nine of Pentacles, it's a secure adult who can be quite independent as well and quite liberated. So are you needing to free yourself from certain responsibilities? There could literally be kids involved here. And it wouldn't be to say like if you've got kids that the kids have to do everything for themselves, because obviously there's limits there. But even if it did involve children, is it that you're taking everything on and there is help that you could try and get elsewhere to manage that situation? That's just one perspective. But let's get into your clarifiers, because I think I've chatted through most of the reading so far, haven't I? Let's look at justice in the world, first of all. Could even be the Page of Cups, because it's about expression, isn't it? Maybe a need to express that you want more freedom, and to kind of be able to go off and focus on other things as well. That's a possibility there too. But why is justice here with the world, first of all? Why is justice here with the world? Okay. I think this came up as well in the Aquarius reading again. It's a do not disturb type energy. They're sort of looking behind them, trying to go off somewhere to calmer waters, aren't they? And I like how they're kind of sneaking off in the night. Anything else? Right, freedom. Instantly, I'm getting freedom. It's the Fool, isn't it? It's I would say wanting your freedom. And for me, the world often feels like freedom as well. And saying that now, I mean, justice, is that just, can justice be associated with the liberation? I think it can, to be honest. Anything else? Right, the devil are the things that hold you back. So you would want freedom from whatever it is that holds you back or restrains you or restricts you. Anything else? I may do the devil just to see if it tells us specifically what it is that's kind of keeping you chained or imprisoned, what your ball and chain is. So you've got the Ace of Swords. So that can mean either that you need to express that you feel trapped. Well, actually, I think that would be the main thing, that you may need to express it. You may not be expressing it. Anything else? Anything else? Five of Swords, wow, okay. Ace of Cups, I mean, that's like, for me, that's kind of self-care. You've got the Six of Swords, one end, the Ace of Cups, the other end. That's where you sort of go in towards replenishing your own cup is the first thing that comes to mind, and filling your own cup. Five of Swords, I don't know if you're worried that there'll be an argument if you say how you feel. I mean, there's people kind of walking away here, aren't there, as well? So let's have a look at the devil and probably the Five of Swords too. Why is the devil here, please? Okay, that kind of accidentally came out. Right, you've got Justice. So again, it's that wanting a fair sort of outcome and fair circumstances. That kind of relates to the Ace of Swords. You may be keeping this to yourself. You might not have said how you feel about this, but I think you will need to say something for it to change. If you don't express that you're dissatisfied or that you feel like you're giving too much, or it might be about boundaries, actually. I feel like the Ace of Swords and the Five of Swords, to be honest, could be about boundaries. Because we always look at we often look at the Five of Swords as like a negative card, which, yeah, it kind of is. It's not the happiest card, but for me, sometimes it's the selfish by necessity, isn't it? So it doesn't mean that you literally are being selfish, but if you are setting boundaries with someone, it could be that kind of energy. So I will look at the Five of Swords anyway. Yeah, that's about communication. This is where you would need to, you may need to set boundaries and express what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what's bothering you. You've got the Moon there, which is hidden emotions, or can be hidden emotions. It can be fear as well. So again, you might fear saying something because it may cause problems, conflict, arguments. Eight of Wands, it can be movement, but it can be communication as well. So there could be an element of freedom there where speaking up on this frees you, but it could just be telling you that you need to communicate it to change the situation. So let's put these back. So your main theme, it looks like you're needing a bit of freedom, to be honest. You're needing things to be more fair for you. So we're going to look at that Nine of Wands energy next, which is your energy specifically. And I know this theme has come up quite a bit with you, Capricorn, of sort of, there's a need to say something to change things, but sort of a reluctance, resistance, whatever, to take the action needed to change things. Almost sort of hope. I mean, there was one reading which you may have seen about hoping for a tower to come in and sort of fix the problem, or sort of hoping someone else will come and do something and then that will change things, or say something and that will change things. So that's the kind of energy I'm getting here. But let's clarify it to see what it means in this particular reading, because although there can be running themes, it doesn't necessarily have to mean the same thing in every reading, does it? So why is that Nine of Wands there? This could be a situation where I don't know why this is coming up for Nine of Wands, because Nine of Wands isn't typically associated with stagnation, but again, a stagnant situation where you're sort of hoping for things to change and it's just like it's not, or I don't know. Let's have a look. Nine of Wands. Why is the Nine of Wands there? Well, that's a desire for things to change, isn't it? Or to move or to shift with the Chariot. But you're the one, again, it's that thing of you're the charioteer. You're the one that gets to instruct the Sphinxes to move the Chariot. So again, it's that you would need to speak up or do something to change things. You'd need to be the one that's empowered. So we've got the Nine of Swords. There's a fear or anxiety about communicating here or expressing what's on your mind or what you're feeling. A definite sense of anxiety. You've got the Nine of Swords, that's anxiety, and then the Page of Cups, Eight of Wands, that's expression. I mean, you tell me why. What's the huge fear? I mean, yes, I know I said there could be arguments or something, but for yourself, as a question for yourself, what's the huge fear around expressing or communicating this? Anything else for that, for your energy? Again, it's the energy of sort of watching and waiting for something to change. I mean, that's the card of change, the Death card. But you may need to embody this energy, the Queen of Wands. You've got the Chariot and the Queen of Wands at either end, and they do have the potential to be very empowered. I mean, well, the Queen of Wands anyway, she is empowered. She stands up for herself. She says what she wants. She does what she wants, and nobody can tell her any different. The Chariot is the potential to do that, but it's that you have to put things in motion. It's not, you can't wait for anyone else to do that for you. So I think that's enough for that. So yeah, your energy, it looks like you're wanting change, but yeah, you're not speaking on it or taking action on it, so it's not happening. So Four of Swords, that's the external energy. Again, I said it looks like a do not disturb card. It could also be, so say if there's another person or people involved, it could be that you feel like they shut you out, or they don't listen, or they just don't care about you what you want. So maybe you feel like you've said something to them before and they just haven't listened. Or you feel like it's not worth saying anything to them because they're not going to listen, or you just can't even, you know, like when people are just so dismissive that if you even look as if you want to have a conversation with them, they kind of turn the other way. That kind of thing. Four of Swords. Is this another person or is this Capricorn? Who is this? Either way, it's a do not disturb, whether it's your wishing that you could have space to yourself or it's someone else. Could be both, to be honest. You've got the World, you've got the High Priestess. Anything else? You've got the Knight of Cups. Do you feel like you're being silenced? That's coming to mind as well, in a weird way. Again, it's that thing of like if you try to approach someone to have a conversation with them and tell them something, and it's just like they're sort of going shh before you even say anything, like sitting there like this person with their eyes closed, and then as soon as you come anywhere near them, you don't even have to say a word, they can hear your footsteps and they're like shh, not wanting to hear anything. Or it could just be an energy of you keeping it to yourself in general. Let's get one more. I would say it's been kept secret or quiet for whatever reason here with the High Priestess. Let's get one more. I might look at the High Priestess on its own just out of curiosity. Right, that's the desire for change, isn't it? There's another way of looking at that as well, but I'll say it in a minute. So you've got the World, the Knight of Cups, and the Ace of Wands here. I mean, that's the desire for something new, something inspiring, something that you feel passionately about. The Tower, it could be, if it's you, it could be the desire for change. Again, are you wishing for a tower? It could also be that if this represents the energy of a person who's kind of shutting you out and silencing you in a way, or you can't communicate with them, it would take a tower for them to listen. I don't know what that tower is, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's another way of looking at it. It would take a tower for this person to listen and for things to change. So let's look at the High Priestess and the Tower, actually. And see what they bring. So High Priestess. That High Priestess feels like your silence. Yeah, it feels like your silence. This would be the people pleasing here with the Two of Pentacles. where you're kind of juggling all sorts of shit that you probably don't even want to be juggling. I would say the Eight of Pentacles, it could represent that you're just working a lot on stuff that you don't necessarily want to be working on, and you feel, what's the word? Dissatisfied. The Eight of Pentacles could also be thinking about, or still being disappointed and thinking about, God, I'm spending so much time juggling all of this crap when really I just want to focus my energy on this, whatever this is. Let's look at that Tower. So Nine of Pentacles, Six of Wands, the Three of, okay, yeah. So the Tower, again, it could go either way. It could be your desire for change, or it could be that it will take the Tower to change things. However, I mean, the Nine of Pentacles and the Six of Wands, that just represents your liberation overall, and just your being able to sort of be free to go off and focus whatever you want to focus on, and just be successful. And the Six of Wands for me often is about being seen and heard as well. So having your desires, your wishes, whatever it is, acknowledged. However, the Tower, whether it's that if you initiated something, or you're thinking about, oh God, if I try to bring this up and whatever, it's going to cause hurt and pain and arguments and conflict. That's what that energy could be. Whether it's that you're thinking about that, or it's just that in general, that's what would happen if you tried to address this properly. So yeah, because I suppose with those energies, I can see why it's not easy to just sort of probably not easy to dive in and just say, look, this is how I feel, this is what I want to change, etc. So let's look at that Page of Cups and Nine of Pentacles again. It feels more like a need to express what you want, what you want to do. And there's a saying that comes to mind, and I can't remember the exact words, but somebody said it to me before, about sometimes it's easier, I can't remember this exactly, so I'm going to butcher it anyway. Something about it's easier to do to do something and ask for forgiveness than to kind of wait for permission. Or not easier, but I don't know which way is easier or better, but it's like sometimes you need to just go and do what you need to do, and then you can deal with the aftermath rather than trying to wait for permission to do something. That's the gist of it. But let's clarify the Page of Cups and Nine of Pentacles. What are they doing here? Okay, both of them. I wasn't going to take both of them, but I'm getting a... You might need to there may be a sacrifice involved. I don't mean like a blood sacrifice or anything like that, but yeah, that Five of Cups kind of feels like a sacrifice, which I will get onto in a minute. But let's see what else comes up here. Right, you've got the Ten of Pentacles. I guess so. Right. So there's a couple of ways of looking at the Lover's card here. This can represent a connection that already exists to something that you feel connected to. So whether that be a person or just something that you love in general, a certain path. But here it's almost like, would you need to sacrifice something here, this connection or whatever it is, to kind of go off on a new path or go off in a different direction? If not, it's that there's something that you want to connect to, something that you love, that you want to close the distance and connect to, but you're going to have to sacrifice something else to go towards that. For me, the Six of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, the Magician, that's the desire to commit to something else that will feel successful to you, something else that will probably feel more empowered or empowering to you as well. The Queen of Cups, King of Cups, that's about being on the same page. So it could be that, say, if there's something, it talks about people pleasing, doesn't it? So the people in your life that you feel you are trying to please and prioritizing over yourself, it's almost like a desire to want them to be on the same page with you in pursuing this, but maybe you feel like that you'd have to sacrifice that or something. Like you know that it would cause a disruption or an argument or a breakup of a friendship or a relationship or something if you go in a different direction or express how you feel. It could also be that you know that you'll have to leave behind the old connections, because to do whatever it is, to move in a different direction and focus on the things you want to focus on, you'll be put in a path where you're with more like-minded people, potentially. But there's definitely something about being on the same page here. Let's look at that Five of Cups on its own. But as I say, the main point of the advice is that a need to express what you want to do, whether that means to tell people what you want to do, or again, going back to that thing of sometimes you just have to do what you have to do, and then whatever the reactions of other people are, well, you'll deal with that when it comes up. So the expression might be just doing it, whatever it is. So Five of Cups. That Queen of Cups and King of Cups, I said it's about being on the same page. It's someone that gets you, isn't it? Being with someone that gets you, that understands how you feel, understands what you want, understands why you're doing what you are doing. Ooh, Four of Swords, Four of Pentacles. So I mean, Four of Swords, I mean Pentacles, that's where you're holding on to something, isn't it? And I said sacrifice, so that would be the sacrifice. I mean, the sacrifice, could it be just expressing yourself and opening up? It could be, but it feels a bit deeper than that, to be honest. I mean, that Four of Swords is about recovery. That can be a card of recovery. So for someone out there, it could potentially be where there's a relationship in your life where if you express that you want your freedom, that it may completely disrupt or I don't want to say damage, but disrupt the relationship or have an impact on the relationship where, yeah, you get this kind of Five of Cups energy where there might be a separation. It could be temporary. It doesn't mean that you never talk to the person again. It could be like it could be that you stop talking to each other. It could be the end of a relationship potentially, but there is a sacrifice here that you would probably need to heal from. But it's sort of saying that if you want this change, if you want to if you want this sense of freedom, if you want to stop people pleasing, you're going to have to let go. Anything else after that Four of Pentacles? I mean, that's the change, isn't it? That is the change. If once you let go, then things can change. I don't think there's anything else worth getting for that, to be honest. I mean, let's get one for the Lovers, just out of curiosity. Okay, so this Lovers card, it might be more along the lines of there is a connection there already that that is restrictive, possibly. Anything else for that Lovers card, please? Yeah, I mean, that's where you want to be free, isn't it? So for some of you, it could actually be a relationship, whether it's romantic or not, that is restrictive and you kind of wanting your freedom. But it is going to probably cause conflict. You sort of getting that freedom or expressing that you want that freedom. So I'll leave that there and we'll get you a final card of advice. So final card of advice for Capricorn. I think I know what the title of your video is going to be. So any final advice for Capricorn? Insecurity, okay. I mean, there you go. I don't know if you can see that. That might come with, insecurity might be a part of the reason that you may struggle to let go or open up in the situation. But let's see what it says. So insecurity. So I'm going to read the whole thing. It's not very long. So it says, Demon Red Rainbow, which I'm guessing is that character. The greatest adversary is the one living inside of me. So they've created a little legend or story that goes with the card. It says, Bob, this guy, is an inventor, yet never finishes anything, always giving up on his projects, convinced they are useless. One day he finishes something and is elated until a demon appears taunting him. The demon Red Rainbow is comprised of our greatest fears. In a dream, Bob discovers that he can distinguish between real and imagined fears. The demon Red Rainbow can no longer stop him from realizing his dreams. The inspiration says miraculous changes lie ahead. Life always takes a turn for the better when we face our demons. Stay on course, trust that an ally will appear. And that Queen of Cups, King of Swords together, that was someone on the same page, wasn't it? So that could be the ally. The gift of adversity is never given without the ability to overcome it. Personal inquiry says, do I listen to my fear? How can I tap into my courage? Key ideas: being courageous, facing adversity, finding tremendous power within, undervaluing your contribution. Keywords: freedom, which is all I talked about through this whole thing, bravery, and success. So I think I mentioned fears at the beginning about, do you fear opening up or expressing this or something? So I don't know. You'll know what this is, what the greatest fear is. I mean, yeah, we talked about arguments and stuff like that, but where did it said the gift of adversity is never given without the ability to overcome it. So whatever happens, you will, yes, it's not going to say it will be easy, but you will be able to deal with it. Are there any issues where you may feel that you won't be successful potentially, like fear of failure? Is that something? So it's like, this is, you know, that whole better the devil you know, and you've got a literal demon there. You know that better the devil you know. So it's like, well, I know what it's like to people please, so that pattern is safer for me to stick to that than to kind of go off and have my own freedom and pursue something different where it's the unknown. Is it that? You tell me. But thank you for watching the video. I hope that was helpful. If you want to book a personal reading, please see the description box below the video. You're welcome to like, share, or comment on the video as well, and you're welcome to subscribe to the channel. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope there was something useful here, and until the next reading, Capricorn, take care.